Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about my classic literature TBR. Before book talk, it was classics. I started with Gone with the Wind, Emma by Jane Austen. Those were the books I started with, and Harry Potter, but we don't talk about that anymore because J.K. Rowling. And lately, I've been in a classic mood again. So it's only fair that I share my TBR with you. I did buy some classics today. Here's a montage of me buying those classics. Of course, the first classic on my TBR we have to start with It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I'm sorry, it's a joke. Don't come for me, I'm scared of you guys. I wonder what's happening with the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni drama. There hasn't been any news lately. Anyway, now to the actual TBR, including what I bought. I'll show you guys. So this is my small but mighty bag from Indigo with the books that I bought from today. Let's do a mini haul. I should have really just plugged in the mic somewhere, but it's too late. So here are the books that I bought today. It's Frankenstein, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Jane Eyre, and Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. I know it's not a classic, but somewhat of a modern classic, if you will. I know, give it 50 years, it will be a classic. I really wanted to read my first ever Fredrik Backman novel, and I think Anxious People is a good place to start because that's what everybody says, and the plot twists in this one seem very intriguing to me. I kind of know what happens in the book, so I want to read it. I couldn't find a lot of the books that I wanted, but what I did find was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And this book it's a classic. I mean, there's so many adaptations of Frankenstein. There's so many retellings. I've never read it before, but with Halloween coming up and fall, I think it's just the vibe for a gothic novel, a classic piece of literature. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Speaking of fall and classic and kind of gothic and a little dark, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I have been wanting to read this book for so long. Oscar Wilde really did what needed to be done with this book in literature. I cannot believe I still haven't read this one. It's been on my TBR for 15 years at this point. I was a teenager when I wanted to read this. 15 years is a bit too much. I would have been 12 at that point. But I do really want to read this. I just know it's gonna be amazing. I just know it. I think I'm gonna start with this one, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Next up that I did find, and the last one I found there, was Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. Whatever. Brontë.
Charlotte Brontë.
I really wanted all three Brontë sisters books today. Couldn't get any. I think this one was the last normal copy of Jane Eyre. There was one special hardcover which was $50, and then the other one which was not a hardcover but was kind of a special edition that was $40, and I was there's no way I'm doing that because I like to annotate my books, and I know for classics I don't want to collect a special edition when I haven't even read the book yet. So this one I know I'm gonna annotate so much, and again, hello, gothic vibes, fall vibes, Halloween is coming up. I just want all the dark gothic but still captivating and emotional books. So Jane Eyre will probably be the second one I'll start. I did want Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. I have ordered this on Amazon. It'll come in 1 or 2 days. I really want to start with Wuthering Heights, after The Picture of Dorian Gray. With the new trailer that's coming up with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, first of all, what are they doing? That's not a classic. That is not a classic. And they literally whitewashed the casting. But I want to read the original work. I have never read that before. I do want to read it. I wanted Pride and Prejudice as well. I cannot believe I haven't read that either. But they didn't really have the good edition, like the good paperback edition of it either. So I do want to read that, maybe on my Kindle. The other one that I really wanted but could not find was 1984 by George Orwell. And I found like a leather bound, like a fake leather bound edition, which again, nobody wants that. I just want a regular paperback that I can annotate and write in, because I know I'm gonna have notes for the classics. The next book that I really wanted was White Nights by Dostoevsky. Whatever.
In English, however, it is fine to say it as Fyodor Dostoevsky.
I cannot pronounce Russian names. So, White Nights by Dostoevsky. You know better. You know more than I do. Don't ask me for Russian names. Reading Anna Karenina was a journey by Leo Tolstoy. The book was so worth it in the end, but all the Russian names were throwing me off. I cannot pronounce these names. Anyway, I wanted White Nights and I could not get it. I think it has become sort of a book talk book, which is insane to me. Like, thank you, Jack Edwards. You made a classic, a book talk book. And now people are asking if there's any smut in White Nights. Like, hello? No, come on, like, get a grip. It's getting out of hand. So anyway, there was none of that either, so I will have to order that as well. But I really want to get to that book as well. There was Crime and Punishment. I don't think I'm quite ready for that one yet. I don't think I'm ready to give into a big book yet, so that one was a no for me. There was one more that I wanted by Charlotte Brontë. Violet, whatever, by Charlotte Brontë. I really wanted that one as well. I could not find it again. Surprise. Like, was it not available only at my Indigo? I don't know. And I know I should have like checked an indie bookstore, but Indigo is just like on my way to work, and it's easier to get to the Indigo just because it's closer to my place. So I just end up going there all the time. But I really need to start checking out some small indie bookstores who will definitely have those classics, I feel like. But these are my classics that I really want to get to right now, and I think all of these are pretty easy to get to. Like, they're pretty easy to read, except for Wuthering Heights. I just know that one is a little bit, I just know Joseph's passages are gonna get to me, and the vocabulary and the accent that's described in phonetics and the random French. I'm trying to learn French because I live in Canada and you kind of need to know French here. But for Villette, I don't know how I'm going to get through it, because I think Charlotte Brontë really wanted to show off her Duolingo streak in that book, and she just popped off with the French. Anyway, taking a trip down the memory lane, and I grew up on books like Emma, Gone with the Wind, Scarlett O'Hara. Those were the characters that were good FMCs in my world when I was a teenager. Like Farrah, Violet, everybody came later on, all the Emily Henry girls. But at that point, it was Emma, it was Scarlett O'Hara. Those were the people that raised me. It was so good to read about like complex characters that are not mainstream. They're not supposed to be likable. They're not likable characters, but they're still so good, and they're beautiful stories. I don't want a mainstream female main character that is like super likable. I want complex characters. And please don't say Nesta, like she was just a bee. No. But yes, I'm so glad I'm finally in a mood to read classics, because I have been wanting to get to the classics for a while. I just haven't been in the mood for any. So yes, taking the trip down the memory lane, just going back to my roots, where I used to read as a teenager. Like, these are the characters and the authors that basically raised me in my teenage years. This is what really got me into reading in the first place. And then, like, in dental school and healthcare and everything, I kind of lost track of reading and just didn't have time for it anymore. Taylor Jenkins Reid did get me back into reading with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And then the Fourth Wing series happened, Akatar happened, and then all the book talk books just like took me by the storm. But I really do wanna incorporate classics back into my reading. I think they're so unbeatable. They're a little harder to go through and to read, like especially after such a long time. I know I'm gonna go through it like really in a difficult way, like it'll be hard for me, but the reward is so worth it. Like in the end, there's nothing that teaches you about life like a classic. Human nature, about class, socialism, racism even, or societal problems, or love. Not just like lovey-dovey romance books, but how love can not always be beautiful. It can also be complex and dark and twisted, but that's still love. Those are the things that you learn when you just read literature, like classic literature. I'm very excited to get to that. Also, anxious people, like I know it's a modern classic. It's not a classic, but it's a modern classic. I know in 50 years it will be a classic. So anyway, these were all the books that I had on my Classic TBR. I thought I'll share with you. Classic reading vlog coming super soon. Stay tuned for that. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you've watched it this far, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And you can always find my booktube, my bookstagram, and my book talk username down below. All the books are mentioned in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.